stuff.
Which is why I left it open. Vampires are a bit weirder comparison to liches, and yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like vampires, liches, and other forms of fairly powerful undead are weird.
Yes. But that is that.
Ah, yes, I found a video that describes when Arena trying to get armor. Wait,
Let me see.
this is a Knim. Fuck it.
Ah, yes. I remember posting that into memes about why the price of your armor was so expensive.
I mean, it's fitting.
It's exactly as expensive as it should be, frankly.
Yes. As much as Valine complains about the price because she's not used to armor being so fucking expensive.
She's not used to paying for a lot of her stuff, personally, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, she's honestly more used to most of the bill being footed by Dad.
Unfortunately for her, she is in Barovia.
She is so used to Dad footing most of the bill for everything because, hey, Dad's a big vampire lord. Of course he can cover the cost of some new armor for his admittedly very thick daughter.
At this point, it begs the question of how quickly is Valind going to immediately try to besiege a new sugar daddy?
Honestly, she's probably going to do that at some point.
Sooner rather than later, I'd estimate.
Yeah.
But that is that. I'll let you know when I'm situated properly.
Alright. I am already going through I'm finishing up some exploring in Stormvale.
Yes. I still can't believe all the stuff I gave you.
Yeah. Right, I forgot why I didn't finish exploring in this area, because there's two fucking wind knights.
Oh yes.
The fucking
Have you considered killing them before they kill you?
I am trying.
Consider harder. Consider with everything you have, frankly. Alright, let me see. Is there an appropriate outlet around here? I suppose this will work. Alright, now I'm just gonna quickly go grab some ice.
Alright. Alright, let's see here. So. Still got it. I know this skip like the fucking back of my hand, I swear. Alright, I'm gonna try and do this a bit differently, aka draw out one knight, then the other.
Ah, the classic.
Yeah. Because thanks to you, I have like a fuck ton of normal bolts I can use. Also, I found out where one of the golden seeds was. I was missing on Kim, or not Kim, on Mink. As
Um,
farm your Ronia butterflies.
about that.
Oh,
There's a lot of seeds. I mean, a lot of extra seeds. Sad as that is.
so I probably just found probably found one of the random seeds in the game, and it's not one that I'm actually missing.
I'll put it to you like this. Unlike the Pt3 fragments and the what is it? The tiers, which increase the number of flasks you get, there is only a set number of these. But the seeds, there are a lot of spares.
I guess that was just mostly a thing because of how fucking big the world is.
Effectively,
Making sure that the players have a decent chance to be able to max out their healing capabilities. That that
and you
also
have to
might
go to all the
explain
churches.
that
Hmm?
might explain why I have an extra upgrade thing from the churches,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a
But
lot
getting back
more.
to it, hmm?
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now that I think about it.
One that you've missed in particular from what you've said is I don't think you've ever gone to the bottom of Stormvale.
No, I haven't. I keep trying to figure out how the fuck to get there.
Well, too long didn't read. There is one of the tree snakes down there, and he also drops a seed.
Oh, yeah. No, apparently there
Hmm.
was a tree thing down in the Lake of Rot. I just never knew
Yes,
that.
that is because the Lake of Rot is terrible.
Yeah, no, it is. Ow. Did you find the Elden Ring yet? No, I have not.
So, about that, I have also yet to find the Elden Ring. All I found was 7 chunks and one broken chunk. I have yet to find the ones that fucking Valks, whatever his name is, the guy who got consumed by the frenzy. I've yet to find his old chunks from when he was going to become Elden Lord, and I wish Ronnie would get hers off the goddamn moon already.
Oh yeah, Ronnie's fucking rune is on the moon, isn't it? Or some
You
bullshit
can
like that.
see it on full moons. That fucker's just up there taunting me.
Damn it, we're trying to reforge the Elden Ring, Ronnie. I married your ass! Give me the rune so I can at least restore order in the world!
So,
Then,
and we also cannot actually fix what's his face, Mikola's rune either. It's just a broken piece of shit.
yeah, no, just like, Nicola, at least get rid of it. Don't fucking shatter a piece of the
At
world
least let me
order.
fix it after I kill you.
Exactly! At least let us fucking fix your great rune, you son of a bitch!
I mauled for the DLC was, in spite of taking over 2 years, underbaked.
Honestly, so far, my experience with the DLC is both good and mixed.
So the biggest problems I have when I say the DLC is underbaked is the fact that a lot of areas feel underdeveloped, namely the Abyssal Woods springs to mind, and too many bosses just completely lack cutscenes and appreciable lore.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Like you'd expect the last boss before the ceiling tree, the giant centipede lady, to have something, but no, you get
Isn't she
nothing. You,
like
you deal with it.
important to the lore when it comes to the Rotkin?
Very
And
immensely, in fact.
yeah, she's apparently very important to the Rotkin lore, and she doesn't even have a cutscene.
Neither does what's her tits?
Manala?
Rolana. Neither does Gaius. Neither does what's this fucking face. A lot of bosses just flat out don't have them, despite honestly really should have them.
Yeah,
Bale gets a pass because of all the extra stuff in his area and Egon.
Egon basically does everything that's needed for a fucking cutscene.
Exactly. He doesn't need one. Who else? The Mother of Fingers. They don't have one.
Yeah, that was actually very weird, especially after I read her lore. I'm like, what? Why the fuck did this bit? Like, I blew a horn. I expected a fucking cutscene similar to the Moon Presence after I read her lore.
Yes, or Ebridas, Daughter of the Abyss.
Exact. Oh, Breedus didn't get one though.
No, but they also had background lore built in.
That's true, and I do actually very
And
much
they had an
agree.
actually important placement.
Yeah, I do agree with the sentiment that the DLC does feel half baked in some areas, and honestly,
I'm
they
also
should have
gonna
done what
say
they
this.
usually
Everything
did with a
else is
lot of these games and have two or three DLCs that are smaller, but more developed over time.
Dark Souls 2's was better.
Yeah,
The meme I posted is accurate to how I feel and view the entire DLCs, especially its final boss.
I have
The
not
final
gotten
boss is
to
the
that.
most inexcusable part to me.
I have not gotten to the final boss yet, so I cannot comment.
It's not even the fight, although the fight itself also has some major flaws. It's what you get for it and the entirety of the lore and story building up to it and after it,
Yeah, from
and
what
what
I
happens after
understand,
it.
all we get to see is apparently Radon and Mikla made a fucking promise in the past. And it's like, what the fuck was the promise?
So TLDR, after you beat them, you do get a very small cutscene that doesn't really tell you much.
A fucking chorus.
And as far as I can tell, the promise was more a promise from Mikola to Radon. So both Moog and Radon are both being roped into this unwillingly.
Fucking chorus.
This entire DLC, all I wanted was a proper fight with Mikola. I consider the gank fight of the Needle Knight and all of her buddies beforehand as the actual climax.
Honestly, from what I can tell, especially when it comes to lore, it honestly does feel like there is a lot missing.
And it's weird because of exactly how much time they've had to work on it.
Exactly. It's just like,
Which leads me to believe that there was some serious rewrites in this, because that's the only thing that makes sense.
because honestly, I would have actually preferred if the DLC kind of like more was set after the ending of the game, because that felt a lot more fitting.
Not gonna lie, you bring in Nicola's rune to rot hits does nothing, and that makes me rage.
No, like imagine if you did that whole fight before going over to
Rot
America,
hits.
yeah, Rot Tits or I forget. There's so many M names.
Exactly. You can blame Martin for that. Regardless, point remains the same. You get nothing for that, and a lot of people, including Mora and myself, were quite disappointed that there was no Age of Unalloyed Gold ending.
That honestly, that actually would have been really good.
Or, a Age of Blood ending, if you somehow went that route, or anything, really.
Yeah, no, like it's just the fact there's a lot of potential that seems to have been wasted, and
Yes, that's what I'm so angry about.
it makes me upset that we're not going to get a second DLC.
So, from what I was told, we may only get one or two more patches total.
I mean, it makes sense. They're going to start working on they probably are working on other projects and are
I
probably
understand,
wanting
but
to
at the
transfer
same
over
time,
soon.
the meta of this game is so cancerous, I find that's a tragedy.
Honestly, understandable.
But that's my personal gripes of the game aside, and yes, Dark Souls 2 is good. I'm of the opinion it's superior to Elden Ring, in fact.
Honestly based.
Not sure how I feel about Dark Souls 2 comparing it to the other games in the Dark Souls trilogy, but I view the entire trilogy, even at its lowest, was still better than Elden Ring.
Elden Ring has some good things going from it. It just has a lot of issues.
I'll put it to you like this. I could see myself playing through the Dark Souls trilogy in the future. I don't know if I can bring myself to play through Elden Ring again.
Yeah, no, no, completely understandable.
Part of the problem is that it's so open world, it's just a pain to navigate and explore and get all the things you need.
Yeah,
I really do not know if I have the energy in me to do that again. All the side areas and
all
like
the all
minor
the
dungeons.
all the dungeons that are honestly just copy and pasted and kind of garbage.
I'll put it to you like this, as someone who did every dungeon, they are extremely garbage. And once you do them once, you really never get a good experience out of them ever again, even the clever ones, because once you solve a puzzle once, its solution will always be known to you. A good joke is only told well the first time.
Yeah.
It's just genuinely upsetting because I wanted to like this game. I wanted to really like the DLC, frankly. I did like a lot of the DLC, in fact.
Yeah, no, no. Honestly, one of the main things with, especially just the base game, is, like you said, it is way too open.
And that's its greatest strength and its greatest drawback. When I go through New Game Plus, I'm pretty much going to stop for nothing and just head for the few things I missed, making a beeline pretty much for the end game.
Yeah, that's the main issue because honestly, one of my favorite things of doing the original, the other Dark Souls games, or doing it in the original Dark Souls games, was going through New Game Plus and just exploring the areas because there was often so much new shit.
I'm also going to say,
In Elden Ring, I don't think that's a thing.
nope, there is nothing new in New Game Plus.
Then what's the point beyond maybe going to
Even
get more
Dark Souls 1 and
remembrances?
3 had new rings and what have you. Dark Souls 2 had the most New Game Plus stuff by a mile. Elden Ring, I don't think, has literally anything.
Which honestly
In fact,
makes,
you get hurt for going to New Game Plus because you lose so many of your ball bearings,
yeah, you literally lose most of your shop.
which I spent the entire game finding all those damn things. But let me see while I'm here.
Yeah, that is something I don't understand because it's difficult enough finding all the ball bearings. Why take them away?
And worse yet, your great runes don't carry over either.
The great so the things are often core parts of nearly everyone's build don't carry over.
So at that point, you might as well just not go and deal with the actual Millennia. Her great rune got buffed again, but who's doing that on New Game Plus?
Yeah,
And who's going all the way to her? She's on the end of the map after one of the most annoying end game areas of her damn tree.
yeah, no, it's like I explored the entirety of the Halid tree. That area is annoying.
At least it appears that you keep a good number of your ball bearings, even from the DLC, I think.
Still, the fact that not all of them, like, I could forgive, I could forgive the ball bearings, honestly, because yeah,
I'm not.
honestly, I could forgive like some of the ball bearings because honestly that is annoying. I will say that right now that is annoying just to lose all the progress on your shop, which is already annoying enough in new game. Then just losing it all in new game plus, that would just no, yeah, no. I completely understand why that would be very unforgivable for you, Texan.
Because I got quite literally all of them, and there are a lot of ball bearings.
Yeah, no, no, I don't blame you. And honestly, after trying to go after all a bunch of the ball bearings in the DLC, it's just like, dear God, that was just it's been so annoying to find half of them, and I'm actually locked out of one.
Well, you're locked out of Moore's ball bearings. You're also locked out of one of his what you call it, one of the cookbooks, cookbook number 7 of the Foragers, and you're also locked. And the rest of the ball bearings in the DLC are inside pots on rock walls that are in very, very, very annoying places. I combed the game incredibly well, and I still missed 2 of them my first time round.
Yeah, no, I had to look up a guide for those.
A fine tooth comb.
Like
I went over this
I
game
knew what I
with.
was looking for. The issue is that they're also often in very dark areas.
They're in dark areas, and one of them is in a valley, part of an area you might not go to, and another one is just quite literally tucked around the corner of a cliff.
Yeah.
And the one I'm talking about is the what you call it, the one that's by the double turtleneck talisman.
Oh
So
God,
that one.
I don't even know where I picked that thing up.
It's in a cave, a shallow cave behind a waterfall.
Yeah, that's another issue. Is that that's another thing with the DLC. Again, I have issues with the DLC. I have both praises and talk downs of it.
Condemnations.
Yeah, praises and condemnations. The DLC, it does some good stuff with the feedback that we gave regarding the base game. Like the dungeons actually feel more unique. They don't.
Oh, taking a look, you need to also defeat Radon and Moog in the base game to get into the DLC and New Game Plus.
Oh
And there
God.
is a true nothing added in New Game Plus.
There's no point in going New Game Plus beyond making the game just.
Getting things you missed the first time, yes.
Yeah, I honestly I would not want to go through that.
I do not blame you slightly. However, I unfortunately must, and it is going to be quite a trial. It's why I'm trying to get everything I can now so I can just rush through and not care.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of,
Oh yeah, I need to give you the sword.
mm-hmm. And then I will transfer the other stuff you want to transfer over on a secondary character.
Yeah. So give me a moment. Let me go find an area where I can summon you. Yeah, let's go to the. Yeah, I'll go over to the academy entrance.
What's really funny is the fact that my 2 side characters are effectively at PvP range, almost 150. I'm not doing that though.
Yeah, no. I don't blame you. It when the thing is as much I will always say that Dark Souls 2 is always a very weird game for me to play. Like I will always say that because again, Dark Souls 2 was just
Or
I
back with siblings.
the thing is I played the Dark Souls series basically in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I played Dark Souls 3, then 2, then 1.
I started with 3, then 1, then 2. So yeah.
Yeah, so I started with the and honestly, I do love Dark Souls 3. The combat is very tight, it's responsive. It it feels really well made. It's not to say that Dark Souls 2 or even three's combat is not well made. It is very well made. It's a bit jank at times, but in general, it's actually pretty well put together. The main issue we just run into is the it's just how the rhythm of combat is different for all three. If that makes any sense.
Quite. Although that can also be excused by the overall progression of janky to less janky.
Yeah, that might just be it, because honestly, I believe that Dark Souls 1 does feel a bit different in terms of rhythm, but yeah, that might just be the development of not only the engine but the team's skill regarding how to make these games.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
And that can also just lead into a whole argument regarding so much.
alrighty. What is your current password? I have 1214.
Yep, that is my current password.
Alrighty. Well,
There he
one
is.
two one four. Mm-hmm. I will be taking my funny sword.
Yep.
I'll also say that the final boss has what I believe to be a truly undodgeable attack.
Ah, fun.
It's one of the slashes. There's a slash to the left and a slash to the right, and I'm pretty sure it's genuinely too hard. It's too fast, and their blade reaches too far in order to actually, dodge it. You can't dodge a second time fast enough. You can't dodge far enough.
Okay, let's see. Where did I put it? Use the Sacred Longsword. Ah, yes, here it is. Uh, it's leave, right?
Yes.
There you go. One Sacred Sword of Light. Oh god. They is me past the fight fight paycheck. Holy shit, I did it.
Was not quite expecting that.
To be
I
fair,
see you went with a bleed and frost build, though.
yes.
Hmm.
It just kind of worked out. It's just kind of how I just came up with everything.
I mean, that is in fact one of the better builds.
Just
To just stack as many status effects as you can.
no, it is primarily a strength build.
Let me see. Did I? Oh, that's what I did wrong. I used the wrong seal. Anyway,
Let's see. Well, you did do
let's
at
try
least a.
this again. I want to see if you can actually pass the vigor check with a fully upgraded seal.
All right. I did.
Let's
You
see
did do
this.
like a good nearly 1,000 damage to me. Make sure I have my talismans all right.
Alrighty, let's see if this works.
Summon the deer hunter.
Let's see if this one does it.
Sorry, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the first scene. Sin. Yes, bleed sticks. I have two Banished Knight's great swords I've had since the beginning of the game.
Let's see. That's a lot of damage, but not enough. There we go.
I
That's more
have.
like it. How much damage was that?
I was like nearly dead.
As it should be. That was with no damage increasing talismans, by the way.
Ah, yes, I see Bale is quite powerful.
It could have went even further if I stacked the funny things on.
I figured as much.
Like, I don't know, the Flock Talisman, Ritual Sword, and then the Fire and Lightning Scorpion ones. Yeah, something like
Yeah, it
that.
does both fire and lightning, doesn't it?
And physical.
Yes.
Anyway, time to shove this thing into my funny box.
Shundao, Hundao, and physical.
So I have my Sword of Darkness and Sword of Light.
Yes. Yes.
Alrighty, so that's what they do.
Ye-
Actually, hmm. Neat.
Oh, this is a pretty
Anyway,
cool one. Don't remember I got this item. That's pretty cool.
return to desktop. Oh, wait, bleh.
Alright,
Alrighty, who
Flamey,
do we
you
want to
go have
show up?
fun.
Irina? Who do you want, Irina or yourself?
Let's go with Irina.
Alrighty. And yes, I did go through the game, the effectively most of the game with the stupid great axe before I finally got sick of it being hot garbage and swapped to the Omen Killer cleavers.
Surprisingly, the great axes in this game are kind of shit.
They are mostly hot garbage, but great axes as a class have always been not great. They were
Good.
better in Dark Souls 1 and 3 though, from what I remember.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
Dark Souls as
same.
a whole.
You
The
could,
Black
I
Knight
mean, you
great
could
axe
try to
was
go
always a
for like
menace.
a pole arm of some kind.
Pole arms have been good, but the axes that come to mind of that were actually good are the Black Knight great axe from Dark Souls 1 was an absolute menace.
Ah, yes, I remember that thing. I got invaded by by a few people with that thing.
Yes, it
Ugh.
is quite a good weapon.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. It was not a fun time. I'll say that. Whenever they came after me, when the PB was just starting the game and was trying to summon a friend.
Hmm, rookie mistake. Trying to have fun.
Hey, at least I never ran into a giant dad.
Well, if you boot up Dark Souls 1, I can fix that for you. I
Um,
played through the D as a giant dad.
Unfortunately, Dark Souls One, I am. Unfortunately, all my saves for Dark Souls are on my Xbox.
Hmm, tragic.
So unfortunately, it's not really easy. So it's not. I don't think crossplay is really a thing.
Not particularly. I'll also say that Giant Dad is not as good of a PvP build as it once was because there are a good number of ways to counter it. But it was a fun way to play through the game as a PvE when the servers are still offline.
Yeah.
Okay, load game, Irina, load up. Let's see. Main Academy Gates. Multiplayer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty. It is down, so waiting on you.
Alright. This is one of the main things that's kind of stopping me from trying to do a black iron run.
One of
It,
the many things.
yeah, it's just there's no proper great axe. Like there's the armor, and I know quite a few good shields.
Well, there's the Executioner Great Axe, I suppose, but hmm.
Oh, there. Spin.
Ah, yes. This stupid thing I still have.
Oh.
It is not particularly good.
Oh. Fuck. Oh. I thought you were using something for a moment.
Yes, I am putting all of your stuff into my pants. Get back here.
I don't mind giving Knim literally everything.
Yes, I do not blame you. Ah, yes, the dragon scale flesh, the flesh of dragons.
Yes. Give some boiled prawn.
That's a good number of them.
Yeah, I know. I farmed a lot. Alright.
Yes, although the crab is superior, but you have to do his quest in order to get it.
Yeah, I've done his quest. I just haven't had. I haven't had the time to farm up the runes for that one. I've been spending most of my runes on getting lots of mushroom.
Yes.
That's actually the main
I'll
reason I
also say,
went after the bell bearings in DLC.
granted, most of the DLC stuff won't be applicable, or at least the consumables of it, the craftable materials of it won't be relevant for a long while.
Of course. But it's
Yeah.
good to have them on hand.
Flimsy frame stone.
Crunchy.
Part of a balanced breakfast.
For any burgeoning Lord of Chaos.
I'm also going to say this if you've read over the what I have added for the Seraph transformation.
Yeah, I
It
saw
is
that. The saving of people. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
it is fundamentally, literally impossible to redeem a Lord of a Domain of Dread.
I mean, makes sense.
Only one singular Lord of a Dread realm was ever redeemed, and it was by his own hand. Out of dozens. The only one who ever managed to escape was Vecna, meanwhile, and he was a little busy becoming, a god.
Ah, yes. Fucking Vecna.
So, in short, you guys are well and surely stuck, and there is nothing you can really do to improve the situation.
Yeah.
Bones.
Spent like 2 hours yesterday farming fucking basilisks for some aronia butterflies. Because fun
Butterfly.
fact, they're the only kind of butterfly that doesn't fucking respawn.
You know, that does not surprise me. Whoa, farming basilisks upon ye.
Yeah, no, that was not fun to do. Let's see, remove a few of these.
The scorpion liver. That thing is far rarer than it has any right to be. I
Yeah.
say as someone who has 99 arcane and the funny talisman.
Oh yeah, no, that I have killed
That
so
was
many of those
absurd.
scorpions.
You do manage, if you kill one particular scorpion, you get three of them at once, but that's only once.
Yeah.
And he's all the way at the pretty much second to final area. I presume that's where Mink stopped.
Uh, I, I, honestly trying to find my way to the fucking swamp, but yeah, basically I'm kind of close to the final area.
You have yet to find, well, have you found the Redu area?
Redo area? I,
The ruins area that's only accessible after you beat Mesmer and the funny hippopotamus.
I think I've found. Yeah, I think I've been there.
All right, did you cross the bridge that's being guarded by a golem that shoots a large amount of fire?
Yes.
Okay, then that's the second to the final area. It's very annoying. The final area is more annoying.
Huh. Good to know, I guess.
That's just all there is to it, I'm afraid.
Though I actually have been trying to explore that one area where I've been trying to explore the coffin area, and it's just like, well, I can't really
Ah, the
get far
coast.
because constant fucking lasers.
Ah, yes, you're in the underground area. Yeah, you have to go up and around to silence them.
Yeah, it's
Hmm,
definitely annoying.
very.
All right, there we go.
Yes. Yoink.
You fucking bastard. You cheeky bastard.
Yes, I hit you with the poison special.
that that was so fucking cheeky. God damn it.
Yes, no one ever expects me to have poison moth flay on these things.
Why would you?
Poison buildup on my bleed sticks.
Exactly. Why?
The funny, and because sometimes I just wanted 2 damage over times on this character.
Uh, what's the other damage over time?
Bleed.
Bleed isn't damage over time, it's an instant proc.
Well, I made a status effect build up.
Status, okay. If you're going for damage over time, you could have gone for specialist poison. Or hell, even rot.
Rot would have been the better choice, but as you can see, I just have poisoned mothfly on my 2 sticks.
Again, I was not expecting that.
No one ever expects it.
No one ever expects the Texan to use this.
Well, whenever you're ready with your next character, I'll be ready.
Yes, I am heading over. I am heading over to Knim right now.
Vike, that's who I was thinking of. Ugh.
Ah, yes, the man who could have been Elden Ring. Elden. He could have been Elden Ring.
He could have been John Elden Ring himself.
Exactly.
Man, I wish I could be John Elden Ring.
Thing is, he's basically kind of the main character from all the trailers.
What really upsets me about Vike is the fact that he got even worse treatment than Faram.
Fram.
Faram is the nameless. So the Faram set is what's on the box art of Dark Souls 2, right?
Oh yeah, I never
And
found that
Faram,
set.
yeah, it's under the castle, quite literally under Drain Lake Castle in a secret little area in that room with all of the rune sentinels that the doors open by killing the statues. Long story short, though, Faram is also the name, or at least is commonly believed to be the name of the nameless kings, of the nameless king,
Huh.
the eldest of Gwyn.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes,
But I am waiting at the site of grace now.
maybe.
Also, honestly, I should drag you through Monster Hunter one of these days.
Maybe. But first, I need the game.
That is true. And honestly, I don't know which game to start you out with. Because we could go for World, and I could drag you along through a research expedition. Or I can get you Rise and have a fairly funny adventure. Or we could
Yes.
wait for Wilds, and I could drag you through that one.
Maybe.
Honestly, I kind of want.
Alternatively,
Oh yeah.
alternatively, you drag me out for when they finally release Slime Rancher 3, now with PvP.
uh, yeah, no, that
Yeah, yes, it is Irina under all that armor.
it is a woman under all that armor.
No one ever really expects it.
Yeah, no. How do you think Valyn felt when she was always she was always used to wearing very bulky armor?
I would say Black Iron is a better comparison. There's no hiding those tits.
There's no hiding Valyn's tits.
You could at least hide somewhat the obscenely thick thighs of Irina.
There's no way you can hide Valyn's body under any armor, honestly.
Effectively.
Unless you basically put her in essentially like I don't know.
Mountain plate, which is inch thick plate mail.
Exactly. Could she fight in it? Probably. Would she want to? Probably not. There's one thing I know. If there's one thing I know about Valyn, she is one who is not really one for being locked in giant suits of armor.
Yes.
That's
Granted,
actually.
as you can tell, Irina is a bit of the same way, but distinctly different. I am interested to see how the party will react upon finding her in her disguise.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting. Because I do imagine we're gonna run into that group that Draggy met eventually.
Well, it was just her, but yes, it is. She will do the disguise again in the future because she
Ah,
does want to have her meeting. Namely, however, the meeting is going to take place with the what is it? The meeting is going to take place in the main quest of the village of Barovia, which will take you guys out of the basin and to Castle Ravenloft.
of
She will
course.
be there to impart a little last minute wisdom and to truly see if you are worthy for an audience with the Lord of the Land.
Of course.
The wisdom is going to mostly boil down to let the adults do the talking.
It's like one of the main reasons I want to drag you through Monster Hunter, primarily Rise, is mostly because I think you'd love one of the DLC characters.
That's a good amount of living pot shards, at least. Those are fairly rare from what I remember.
Yeah, no, I just kept running into a bunch of living pots. I actually ran through that one area quite a few times because I just kept getting killed by the bitches that came out the pots.
At least you have a good amount of Arteria leaf now.
Yeah,
And mushroom.
Beast Horn. I didn't get any chance to farm some melted mushrooms, but I can do that on Knim.
Melted mushrooms aren't bad, though.
Yeah, toxic mushrooms. That. I'm glad I decided to get the fucking thing for that.
Be thankful I also gave you as many of them as I did.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I am very grateful for that.
Because I remember it was one of them I didn't have a whole lot of for giving you.
Yeah, no. I'm happy with whatever you gave me, man. Also, I do love the fact that because of the lore of the DLC, I love the fact that Mikla shedding off their love, the femboys shedding off their love created a woman.
I mean, quite literally, yes, that is correct.
I just find that funny is all.
Well, no, that is just objectively correct. They are the fairer sex for a reason. I'm also questioning how he thought his whole age of compassion would work, though,
Without his love.
without his compassion.
Yeah. I I don't think Mikla was really not Mikla? Yeah, Mikla. I don't think Mikla was really thinking straight by the time they went through the gates of divinity.
I think he was a little high.
Probably. All bastard lords. Great sword. Ruin's great sword. Beast course sword. Beast curse sword. The, uh, I don't. The pole blade. Okay. Preservation. Bolt of great sacks.
Yes, you'll be getting a few additional funny weapons.
Clinging bone. It's probably gonna get that soon anyway. Starfist. Veteran's prosthetic. Mike's. I already have Mike's War Spear. Great
Now you can
club.
dual wield them. Now you too can be Cancer.
Giza's wheel. Great claw. Dual wielding Giza's wheel. Stormhawk axe. Jawbone axe. Serrated butcher's. I have 3 of those now. Giant crusher. Dragon halberd. Okay. Giant seal. I will probably get into incantations at some point. Mostly for buffs and shit. Clawmark.
Hmm.
Golem's
Now, what other
helmet.
sets should I give you?
I honestly I don't know. You've given me a lot. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, wait. I have just enough stats to wield the great sword. I have just enough stats for Knim to wield a great sword. War Surgeon's gloves, white mask, silver tier mask, gilded foot soldier's cap, Zanmore mask, War Surgeon's gown, War Surgeon's trousers, bull goat helmet, bull
For
goat
when you really need the defense.
Clean out armor, clean out helm. Alright.
Oh no, there's still more. Or can you not pick this stuff up?
I there is nothing else there. What
Hmm.
what did you try dropping?
The fur calling finger remedy. It's strange you cannot drop that as you know.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
Alrighty. Let me see. Wonder if there's any other funny talismans you can make use of.
But yeah, the DLC for Monster Hunter Rise, there is a there is a fair-skinned tomboy knight who goes hunting with you.
Hmm. As there should be.
Yes,
As is based, frankly.
yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't have it. I was going to use the funny what is it? The thing that allows you to disguise as like a statue.
Wait, hold, I have it. Hold on, it's a mimic veil.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have this. You get it by going through.
Ah, I wonder who they are. Man. Man. Get back here. That is sad.
You nearly procced bleed on me twice.
Yes, I do a lot of bleed buildup. I
Also,
thought that was self-evident.
also the video I sent you. That is what the night girl looks like in that video.
Yes. So, what's your current supply look like?
Okay, if you ever look at the stream, let's see.
I have it up on a phone if silenced because I'm not dealing with the audio delay.
Yeah, no, no, you're fine. Let's see.
Surprisingly, not as much meat as I expected.
Yeah, no, but this should do a lot for crafting up consumables. Got a bunch of budding horns, a bunch of old fangs, good amount of flight pinions. I wish you could make fletched bolts. That would actually be pretty good.
Yes, unfortunately, we live in a bitch of a world, and we get nothing.
464 smoldering butterflies, 131 aronia, 39 nascent, some gold centipedes, a bunch of living jar shards.
I could have swore I gave you more of the what you call it, the silver tear husks.
Eh, maybe not.
Well, you can always head down to the city down below to farm those if you need them.
Yeah, I am planning on. I think one of my main goals as soon is to do Ronnie's quest line, or at least get it started.
I will say I wish that you could actually see what each thing is craftable into from here.
Yeah, no, same.
Ah, yes, that is a lot of dew-kissed herba. You think you need more?
I think I'll be good forever.
Yeah, you have a good amount of toxic mushrooms for me at least.
Yeah, and I also
402 isn't bad. Hopefully you won't need to farm more regular mushrooms for a hot while.
hopefully, if not, I have a spot that I can literally farm while I'm playing one of Slay's sessions.
Yes.
I don't even
Speaking of,
do I, I don't even do it
I'm
because I'm
still a
like
bit,
bored or something. It's just because it's just like, oh yeah, I have time. Everyone else is RPing. My character's either A, asleep, or B, off doing something else. So might as well let them have their fun, and I'll just sit here play a game.
I do wish your thing was on the other day because I would have enjoyed your commentary, methinks,
Commentary for oh
during the
yes,
session.
yes. I do apologize that I had muted my mic because she was starting to scream about something, and I had to go deal with that.
I figured, but it's still a bit tragic. Oh
Yes.
well.
But hey, we have all this shit.
Yes. Although that will not be useful for a great long while.
Yeah, the volcano and formic rots won't be useful for a while. I could have had to go to Mount Vernont and all that shit. It's gonna take forever to get to. Yeah.
It will, in fact, be a bitch.
Yes. Yes, it will be.
Such is the life we lead.
Yes. So, Lancer is kind of in an odd place for me right now.
Hmm. I'll put it to you like this. I haven't actually kept up with the Lancer game in the slightest bit on principle of disliking Lancer, or more accurately, the people who make it. I'm sure
Honestly,
that's somewhat understandable.
yeah, no, it's understandable. You don't like them, so I don't expect you to. You don't.
Indulge in it.
Yeah, no. I like it. I like Lancer. It's a fun combat system, in my opinion.
I don't doubt that, but it's also I've also never really kept up with your other tabletop RPG sessions because of oh if I do it's gonna be a little toxic.
Oh yeah, no, no, definitely.
I'd rather just not
Yeah, and I
because
completely understand.
it's hard for a DM to not compare themselves to other DMs and other campaigns.
Yeah, no. That's actually one of the issues that Soul has going on with him playing through both running his own game and playing in Slayers.
Yes.
That will always be an issue that DMs suffer with.
Granted, I also have my own particular opinions and views on both Soul and Slaya.
I actually never. I know your views on Slaya, and honestly, I completely understand your opinions on her. But I never heard your opinions on Soul.
I have problems with a lot of how he does his campaigns. I've never met the man personally. I do not know much about the man beyond that, but I have some pretty. I understand that Mike's campaign is not the best one either. There are definitely things I would do differently, but I'm also running a very, very particular style of campaign, I feel. And
Yeah,
I just disagree with a lot of how he does his stuff.
yeah. Honestly,
Because for me,
there is a
things
few
are safe.
issues that I've had with Soul over the years, especially regarding campaign stuff. You've heard
And
my
I've heard a lot of your
gripes,
stories, and that's why I have some of the opinions I do.
and again, understandable. It is. I like Soul as a person. He is actually a fairly decent guy. It's just he has an issue of believing that he's right regarding a lot of stuff when it comes to TTRPGs.
Hmm. In what way?
Ah, God, there's a Tim and Slay have had quite a few arguments regarding specifically rules as written and interpretations.
Makes sense.
That's always been an argument when it comes to table, especially with D&D or any tabletop RPG.
Fortunately, you know I'm quite different in that regard. Homebrewing is my blood.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And I always find people deciding to homebrew things out than just going rules as written or just interpreting anything as. I always find homebrew more interesting.
Speaking of, if you ever have definite qualms with any of the rules of D&D 5e as written, or if you think you have a better way to do something, let me know. I rarely, if ever, is anything actually set in stone, and even all of my changes are there's a big ol' asterisk behind it which says if this turns out to be stupid, this is subject to change.
Oh yeah, no.
This will be tweaked as needed. And you remember the first Black Crusade campaign I ran? That thing was entirely homebrewed.
Yes.
It was one of the major qualms I had with a Satcher, actually.
Yeah.
Namely, just how little he did not change in the slightest to the detriment of the campaign, both narratively and mechanically. And then the stuff he did change, I always found was of poor quality, to put it lightly.
Yeah, no, 100%. One of the
Oh.
things that I will always kind of applaud you for is you always keep trying to improve things.
Because if I'm going to be doing something, I might as well make it the best experience for both players and DM.
Yeah.
There is no reason why this should be painful for either of us.
Honestly, I always loved that.
I do sometimes wish I was a bit sterner and a bit harsher. But at the same time, I don't think I would change, even if I, despite my personal feelings. That's just not how the campaign is set up.
Yeah.
How did you actually view Asatcher's DMing from the time you played? You played a bit more than Dal during the Curse of Strahd campaign, including a bit before it got stupid.
Honestly, I don't know what to think about his style.
It
Like,
was a while back.
yeah. That, and also, I don't really have too big of a sample size. I think I was
Of
in.
DMs?
No, in terms of his style.
Yeah. I played an entire campaign first to 8th level, so I played way too much. Man, that was painful.
So,
I miss Black Crusade.
that for that whole thing, I can't really say I have a fully fledged opinion.
Makes sense. It was a while back.
Yeah. Then that
Over a
was.
year now.
Yeah, no, that was over a year. With how you're running it, I will say that it's very detail orientated. I do have some issues regarding
Mm-hmm.
that, but I don't mind it.
Well, when it comes to detail orientated, that's also why I write up the shared notes. It's
Yeah.
to try and remedy the problems that can come from it.
Yeah, and I greatly respect that. You understand the issues that can stem from over
My style.
details.
And I also know that this is such a detail-orientated section that moves so slowly. You guys are not going to remember details from months ago. So I have a write-up of every session if you need to go back 6, 7 days in game. But for you was 6 months.
Yeah, like in game. Oh, it's only been like a week since the event happened, but for us IRL as the
Closer to
players,
2 weeks, but yes. But for you guys, IRL, it's been a month. Or and that's also a bit of a problem with how this is set up, but I don't think I would change it either. I am quite attached to my long form campaign.
yeah, no, that was also another thing I kind of. I guess that was also another thing I kind of had an issue with Black Crusade was just again I don't mind it. It just can drag on is the main issue.
It will drag on. That much is, I will fully agree that it will drag on, but I also think that that's just. There will be more time jumps in this campaign than in Black Crusade, I feel. Especially once winter comes, you guys will be able to have time to. Part of the problem is that I do treat it very realistically. You guys
Yeah,
have a set number of hours in the day, and you will be able to get a set amount of things done. Hop to it.
yeah, that is also another thing is this is something I've actually been criticizing Slaya about with her
Hmm.
campaign is it feels like there's the thing is with her campaign, how she apparently has it set up is that everything is running by certain dates essentially.
Hmm.
So basically, she's wanting to make sure that events happen with or without the party being involved.
And to a degree, there are a few events like that in Barovia, but these are more for my own personal tracking of who dies at what point.
Oh yeah, no. The main issue is that it literally becomes a point of we have no downtime in Slaya's campaign. It's become an issue
And
of
I want to just let you guys know this straight up. You guys are not on a strict timer. Stradvan Zarovich is watching you from his balcony. He's not going anywhere for the moment. Especially while in the basin. The basin is your tutorial area. Take as long as you want if you just want to relax as characters. That's kind of why I've set aside the first couple hours of the day and ideally the last few before you guys go to sleep. You guys do have time to just be characters. I want that.
yeah.
If you wanted to, you could have just spent the entire week staying at Tusclean and just relaxing. And during the winter, there will be a lot of downtime when you physically cannot really leave where you are, because quite literally, it will be dangerously cold for a large part of the day.
Honestly, yeah, no, that makes sense. It's
Winter, you guys are in the prep before winter comes. Once winter arrives, you will see why everyone has been battering down the hatches and getting all their ducks in a row. Because it goes over for a few months.
understandable. Winter can literally shuts down entire nations in like medieval
And
times.
Barovia is no exception. The river quite literally freezes.
And that
And
shuts down trade.
that pretty much locks Tusclean out of trading. Besides rarely by cart, and they only trade by cart what is expressly required, or if anyone requires additional shipments of their charcoal. But they don't really go harvesting much during the winter because, it's winter. Everybody kind of stops going at it. Winter's the time when you batter down the hatches and deal with internal problems,
Yeah.
not external threats. Even the werewolves and barbarians and druids follow this rule. No faction is really exempt.
Yeah, no, that just makes sense.
But that's also why they want to get all the problems that they can dealt with now, before they're stuck locked into a living area with what could be threats for months on end.
Yeah, but as I say, one of the biggest issues I've had is just like we have time to like sit down and RP and shit, but there's never been like those break days that every party honestly needs because we've honestly just been go go go.
You guys can honestly take whenever you want. That's on you guys.
In Slaya's game, I mean, because of how
Ah,
everything's planned.
because you guys quite literally have to keep going or you're going to be missing opportunities.
Yeah, because apparently everything she has like entire dates and everything that things will occur, whether the party is there or not, and she wants to make sure we don't miss out on anything.
That is definite to your disadvantage and detriment.
Yeah, no, I brought it up. We've all brought it up, and she says that she'll be working on it. But it's just one of those things of I love the campaign. I love the characters. I love what we're doing. It's just one of the things of we're at the point where
You're being run ragged.
yeah, no, like we just had a whole blunder with breaking into a reliquary and shit, and we had a whole blunder involving that. My character might have died to a fucking fox maiden. If
Ah,
it wasn't,
the legendary Fox Girl assassin.
no, actually, it was a fox girl of a. It was basically a handmaiden of a healing goddess.
I was being facetious, but I see.
Yeah, the healing goddess is a not Makote. It's a fucking Tabaxi. The nation
Terrible, I
has a
hate it.
large population of Tabaxi, so a lot of the gods are Tabaxi. A
I
lot of the
hate
more
it. Kill
common ones. But anyways,
him. I honestly, that has always been a problem with me is that you guys will be stuck dealing with something until it is done.
yeah.
But if you want, you could always just rush a solution. The simplest solution is there. It's just rarely the best option. If you wanted to, you could have just killed Clara for her axe
Oh
and
yeah,
just
no, I
ignored that entire
imagine.
side quest.
Oh yeah, no, I imagine we could have just done that and just be done with it, but we didn't because we're trying to figure out how to make sure we can get everything done as best we can.
And it's also the fact that all of these side quests were designed if you guys want to do them. You don't technically have to do any of them. Your only
Yeah.
main quest is go encounter the Lord of the Land.
Yep. That's really
And
our only
then
job.
your only real job is to deal with the Lord of the Land, to be specific, but I'm pretty sure you guys are not doing that.
Probably not.
And then the secondary party is going to suffer immensely, unimaginably. It is going to be tragic. And you guys have had it pretty easy thus far, I'll say that much. But you
Yeah,
are in the
no.
basin, it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, no, I figured.
But I'm also just not going to drop you guys into the deep end, which is quite literally the west side of the valley, without any preparation. I will give you guys an appropriate level to do so because you're going to be fighting an uphill battle the entire time.
Oh no, no, I imagine, and
Curse of Strahd Kaizo can be much harder than it is currently for you guys, solely because you guys are going out of your way to pacifist it, so to speak. You are not angering any particular faction, which will come back to bite you.
yeah, that's the thing with Boleyn is that she understands she is in a very unfamiliar land. She has no allies, no support structure, so she's trying to make sure she can make the best of the situation.
It gets worse because the major factions are literally not going anywhere. You'll be stuck dealing with them the entire time you're in the valley unless you wage a war of annihilation, and that is going to be a most grueling endeavor.
Oh yeah, no, don't. Yeah, no, no, you don't need to tell me that.
Because I also do wars very realistically, I will require you guys to have a proper logistics network and supply chain and technical base and, recruiting pool. You cannot wage a war without men and resources.
Yeah, that is something that Soul often forgets.
Yes, and I've seen that before and it angers me.
For
Because,
reference, Slay is in his new campaign that he's running right now, and dear God, the fucking shit I have heard from her about it. I'm like, oh God, he's not learned anything.
no, and that's often a problem. You can open the door from that side, by the way, that one down there.
Oh yeah, I know. I just want to
And
grab
then
this
there's
item
all the
first.
stuff you can get across the roof.
Yeah,
That stupid crossbow jump.
I'll I'll worry about grabbing all that later.
The stupid full moon crossbow is garbage. Don't bother.
Yeah, no, I think it's like maybe one or two rune items I'd want to pick up, but that'd be about it.
And I understand a lot of people don't enjoy the brass tacks of campaigns, and some people enjoy combat, but I'll be honest, I genuinely do not like 5e's combat.
Understandable.
Its combat will only ever be at most serviceable, and I have to go out of my way to make stat blocks and, more importantly, maps for it. And I greatly dislike finding maps or making maps. Did it for Black Crusade, but I like Black Crusade's combat.
Yes.
Lamau. You need to level your
Ah, there he
adaptability.
is. Moongum.
Yes. He will be stuck in a room with fucking Moonveil. Whatever her name is.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder what their children will be named.
I wonder too. Well, I'm gonna be using a strategy I kind of recently found out that's really good.
The Rancor pots?
Yes.
They're quite good, yes.
Yeah, yeah, no, I used them to fight like a fairly tough enemy earlier. I was surprised. So. Parry this, you filthy casual! Ooh, extra damage. Well, that can always be an issue.
Yes. Time for Big Sippy. Unfortunately, he also has one.
Yes, but he only has one!
Yes, and you have more.
Okay, that is the first time I have ever one-tried him.
Don't get cocky yet. There you go.
That is the first time I've ever first tried him. I gotta
A
hate
sign of
this guy.
improvement. Yes. The NPCs are often funny like that. Anyway, you can just run passive if you truly want.
Yeah, and I want to get rid of him right now just because.
Yes, there are items. Granted, a surprising amount of the game you really can just hoof it past if you're quick enough.
Yeah, no, I want to just kill that guy because he has that annoying glitstone shower spell.
Yes. Shit sucks. Hit the bricks.
I remember this area way too well.
Yes, because this is the only area in the game where there isn't a Stake America right by the boss.
Stake of America. Oh
Yes, you know the
yeah.
America Stake?
Oh yeah. This is the only one that doesn't. Or
Because Renala really, really, really hates America for being a home-wrecking bitch.
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That why there's no stakes in America or any like shrines to her as well.
Yes, because she's a home-wrecking bitch.
But she was also Renala's husband.
Well, that came after. A lot of people get that wrong. That came
I thought
way later.
America and Radagon were the same person.
They are, but that came at the very end after he left his wife. And well, the way it went, let me explain to you a way this was explained to me that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Hey, our money, Golden Tits is a flight risk. You'll have to leave your wife so that we can handcuff you to her to keep her from ruining literally everything. You can bring your kids. Radagon, I. Poor Renala.
She really was done dirty.
Yes. Which is kind of why I need their sister to help get them out of it.
Just like yeah, no, just like please tell your wife to let go of the egg and just run the academy. Fucking please. They're in the middle of a fucking civil war.
Quite literally, things are not great.
Yeah, no, seriously. I actually learned that yeah, no, the fucking Magic Academy is currently in the middle of a fucking civil war.
They were, and still technically are. Yes, it's not great. That's kind of why the witch is able to do the things that she is.
Yeah.
So yeah, things are simply not great, and I've always wondered what would happen if you showed her the one of the funny weapons from the Elden Beast fight, either the hammer or the sword that's quite literally her husband.
Yeah, no, I wonder as well, and honestly, it might snap her out of it, for all we really
It
know.
might She might just literally die.
Honestly, it could be either or. It really could be either or. Okay, so we gotta
Yep.
stick with some Vancore pots, so I'll get some more fire pots going.
I can't believe how many funny weapons I gave you.
You've given me a lot of funny weapons, yes. And
Some of them are incredibly good.
I think for second phase, I'm wanting to do poison. Yeah. Yeah, for second phase, I'll do poison.
Ah, she is a very particular boss, but fortunately, I think I gave you. No, I think you just went and got the +1 variant of the shield.
Uh, yep, no, I do have the spell drake +1.
What other talismans do you have, actually?
Let's see here. Turtle Talisman, Arsenal, Airtree's favorite. I should actually put that on.
Yes.
Radagon's Source Seal, America's Source Seal. Got the prosthetic heirloom, two fingers heirloom, a bunch of these ones. The
You
assassins.
have some decent ones,
Yeah, no, a lot
and
of these
some
you
hot
gave
garbage.
me.
You have some decent ones and some hot garbage.
Yes. This increases attack power. That's actually not bad. Ah, yeah, I need more talisman slots.
Well, the way to get one of them is to go and smack Morgoth's nut. You know, when he's in the field.
Oh
Oh,
god.
no, wait. One of them is also you have to go and defeat the Golden Godfrey.
Golden god. Oh yeah, so I still need to get to Laydell then, which means I still need to kill this bitch.
Well, you don't necessarily need to kill her to get there. You just need the two halves of the medallion, but
Well, no, in order to get into the city, I need to. I need two great runes in order to gain access to the city.
ah, yes. I forgot.
He forgot about that little detail. That not Moog, fucking Morgoth the
In my
bitch
defense,
taker.
I typically just steamroll the remembrances.
Yeah, no,
So
I don't blame you. I honestly don't blame you.
So once you get two great runes, you can talk to Elena or Enea, or whoever the blind lady is, and Round Table Hold with the two fingers,
Yeah,
and then you get your final one for defeating Godfrey.
right. So
How
yeah,
many
after
great
I
runes do you
defeat
have
this
currently?
bitch, I'll get access to one more talisman slot, which will be nice.
Very.
I wish it could get more.
Well, I think four is the best we're ever getting in these Souls likes, but I wouldn't be opposed to more either. Especially when you look at just how awful most of these are by comparison to their prior incarnations.
Yes.
They are just objectively inferior to their old equivalents.
Yep.
Hush,
I still can't
little
believe a
Carver.
little girl in a school outfit quite literally comes up and kisses your feet.
I'll
Yeah,
soon
no,
birth
I
thee
always found these
again,
things creepy, and apparently
a
they're her attempt in
sweetling,
creating new
fresh
children.
and pure.
Does not surprise me, but they are quite literally rebirths of Academy students, so yes.
Ugh. I honestly forgot how weird this fucking boss is.
Worse yet, rebirth as a whole is a horrific, horrible thing.
Yeah, I think we're only able to really not be too affected by it thanks to the fact that we're tarnished.
I chalk it up to the fact that we are the crackhead, tarnished main character. and everyone else just has a skill issue.
Damn nerds.
Remember, PB, they hate us because they ain't us.
I actually found out recently that one of the main ways to tell if someone's a tarnished is if their eyes have gold in them.
Yes. Granted, that does not often
Don't
work,
have gold.
unfortunately.
Those that have been bereft of grace do not have gold coloring in their eyes, apparently.
Yeah, that was something that what's her name went into, Zuli the Witch. They went into that pretty in depth. I honestly wish you could use Deathblight as a method for testing, but unfortunately we get nothing. Deathblight is useless.
Deathblight is weird. I've never fully understood it.
It's just to inflict upon you. You do not use it. Period. You do not even use it against other players. Although you can, but it's bad.
Yeah, no, from what I remember, it's just...
It's like
just
Curse
annoying.
and Dark Souls. It's like Curse and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Just reflavored.
Oh.
Including the basilisks.
Oh, right, I keep forgetting Scarlet Rot's fucking deadly.
Yes. It is just instantly kill you. Oh, are you talking about Scarlet Rot?
Yeah.
Yes, it is quite deadly. And now you have to deal with Phase 2!
Phase 2, where she becomes a wizard.
Phase 2, when she goes from Lady in Bubble to Mommy. It's a shame her hat is so stupid.
Her hat is so stupid. Why couldn't they give her like a good, cool-ass witch hat?
Why couldn't they give us a good hat in general that buffs sorceries? It has always been bad in every iteration. I miss the ears, though, from Dark Souls, because at least those didn't look as stupid.
Witch ears.
You know, what's your face from Ulaseel's crown?
Oh, yeah, her crown that makes you look like you have fucking fish ear things.
That make you look like you have two golden ears, one of them at a different angle. Ah, she has evolved from lady with trauma to your son calls me mom too. He does in fact call me mother and tell me when where he is late at night. Poor Renala.
Yeah, no, she honestly did deserve better. Ah, shit.
Yes. You are going to throw hands.
Well, primarily I'm gonna throw shit at her.
Yes, literally. It is time to make the poo pots.
Ow.
Yes, don't do that. Well, there is the funny moon. As always, I'm watching the stream, which has like a 10 to 20 second delay. It's hilarious.
No, it is. Ah, shit. Thank you for taking that, babe.
Maybe one day we'll find you a new head.
Ah. God damn it. Yeah, that actually went pretty well.
Yes, until it didn't.
Okay, so I think I'll trade out the Rancor pots for... Because I'm going to bring in my summon no matter what. And that summon takes up most of my FP bars, so... Rancor parts are not going to be too useful for that part.
Agreed.
So I'm going to use them up.
Alternatively, you go in search of the Cerulean Hidden Tier all the way up Mount Gelmir.
Do I really want to go the long way and go through the fucking catacomb? Not the catacomb, the fucking...
Alternatively, you go to the basement.
Oh yeah, the basement.
Yeah, you just get abducted, then dragged, kicking and screaming all the way to Mount Gelmir.
Honestly, I forgot that's an option. Fuck it. Let's go get kidnapped by a virgin.
Yes, and then if you have problems with the duo boss, you can always get me because that duo boss is terrible. I hate it. You
Oh,
know, against
sorry,
the two
Chi.
virgins.
Ah, yes, no, that it is. I'm sorry, Chi. I did not mean to pick you up in the spot you got your shot.
Mm. I see.
Sorry, she likes to climb up onto my tower lately.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I keep having to tell her stop doing it because she rocks it.
Yes. As they should.
But essentially, one of the yeah, with Lancer, I the whole thing with Lancer right now is I'm having fun putting together the sessions, planning everything out, but it feels like a I have my Bosnian friend in the session because he's been wanting in the campaign now because he's been wanting to play an RPG for a while now. I'm like, oh sure, I have a game. We recently had an opening.
Mm-hmm. What's your preference for number of players, by the way?
4 or 5.
I can do up to 6, but I typically prefer 3 to 4 invested players.
Yeah, no, like
Which, as you can tell, is often you, especially Morgren and Flamey.
yeah. Like honestly, hard limit is 5. I am feel more comfortable around 4, 3 to 4. The main issue is that my Bosnian friend, and he actually brought in one of his other friends because we lost another player as well then. So,
Mm-hmm.
around that time, we brought in another person just to fill out the roster.
Uh-huh. As
And
you do.
both of them are. The best way I can describe it is they both feel disinterested.
Mm. That's always a problem.
It's
In
the
the
issue
story or the
of.
gameplay?
eh,
Or just tabletop RPGs as a whole. Some people are just not suited for them.
From what I understand, the one that my Bosnian friend brought in, he is his only other experience with an RPG game is was one session and it was nothing but combat.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, oh fuck.
You're starting from negative, effectively.
Yeah, so he's not used to the whole thing. The thing is also he watches those those YouTube channels that uh have sessions that are ran by professional actors who are really good at improv and are able to bounce off each other very well.
Yeah, that is you don't watch those. You just don't watch those. By the way, don't forget to change out your talisman if you have the fire one.
Do I have to fire one?
You should.
Yes, I do actually.
Yes. But I understand that that is a definite problem.
So he
Honestly, I
so
recommend not watching those for a reason.
yeah no so he's watched those before and he wants some wacky zany stuff, but he doesn't want to engage in the role play. And this is something I've been
Well,
trying to beat into his fucking head of if you want interesting moments to happen, you need to engage with either the NPCs or
yes.
the other players. I've been trying
Which
to
is why
beat
I
this
try
into
to
him.
have little quests for you people.
Honestly, I've been doing the same. I've actually been doing my best to make sure that every character has interesting things they can do. Like, one of his complaints early on was that his character, who's a robotic doctor, didn't really have too many doctor things to do. I'm like, okay, I'll figure out how to add in more. And when he gets to do that stuff, he has fun, but he just it seems like he's really disinterested a lot of the time is the main issue.
Well, he might also be focusing himself too hard. That's why I typically try to give my characters a few things that they can do. Even if they're not particularly good at it, they have hobbies. Even Gag engaged in cartography. He climbed the highest towers and surveyed the city as they were marching through to find the best route
Oh,
through.
shit. Ah, fuck. Well, I'm glad I got the thing.
Yes. Maybe.
Yes, no, I was able to pick up the Site of Grace.
Yes. Until I take it away.
No, bad
I
time
hack
Site of
into your game and remove all of your Site of Graces.
Please, no, I do
Rip
not want to do
Bozo.
the extreme man against wild Mount Elmore challenge. But so
Speaking of, if you do want me to come in with the boss after a couple of tries, I'm
actually,
more than willing to do so because that boss is cancer. I
honestly,
hate them.
yeah, honestly, I don't blame you. If I only had lightning pots. Lightning pots are in fucking Lanedale.
Well, at least you have plenty of lightning grease.
Yeah, I do, and I think I can apply them. Can I? Can I apply them to this
You
weapon?
can to your bandit dagger, I believe.
Actually, hold on. Let me quickly test something.
You can't to a lot of unique weapons apply anything, and you can't often apply to infused weapons.
Yeah. Just let me test. Oh shit, I can fucking apply to my thing, to my Scarlet Rot Rapier.
Yes, because it, believe it or not, is an infusible weapon. Speaking of, you can actually dual wield those things.
I think I only have one right now, so. But that is an idea I will take into mind.
Yes. I can actually just tell you where the second one is, though. It's at Moor Castle. You know, the one surrounded by rot that has the funny knight in briar armor.
Oh, that place.
Yeah, it's just to the left of it,
I'm gonna be
up near a
going there
bunch of
anyways because I
statues.
do want Millicent's prosthetic. I want that charm.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go there anyway, so no reason I shouldn't.
The Anspur rapier is quite good. A part of me wonders how cancerous it would be if Scarlet Rot scaled with anything, but a bigger part of me is just thankful it doesn't at all.
Okay, that was just a bad opener.
Yes. Remember, dying is gay. Sun Tzu, the 7-Eleven parking lot outside my apartment. Yes, he is there.
He's there. We hang out on the weekends.
He gives me wisdom in exchange for a pack of cigarettes.
Why does that weirdly make so much sense for you? Make sure you guys are closing that door.
Yes.
Sorry, I
I,
have to constantly remind them to make sure that they close the fucking door.
well, let me see if I can't summon forth one of the many poltergeists of Barovia to reopen it.
No.
Maybe.
How about no?
How about maybe?
Okay, let's see here. Fire pots, those are always good. So again, one of the main issues I'm just running into is engagement doesn't seem very high, and kind of a bit of infighting amongst the players at times.
And that's something I've always struggled with as well. I've always had favored players, ones who engaged, and I've always had players I didn't care as much for. And I'll also just straight up say that I had problems with one particular player in Black Crusade because their voice visibly grated on my ears.
Understandable.
I'm sure you remember them, though. So I will
Uh,
not name names.
Dwagon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I've had issues with them. I tried bringing them into Lancer. That was not a good idea.
There's a reason I've only kept up with you and to an extent Tesca slightly.
Yeah.
No regrets. No regrets.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't blame you. One of the wagon.
They are incredibly horny, and their voice visibly, audibly great.
One of the main issues with them, for especially in the Lancer game, was just the fact that for some reason they were. Because the thing is, Lancer Party, they are part of an expeditionary fleet.
Uh huh.
That is one of the main things about the campaign. This is an expeditionary fleet. We're helping out a remnant of humanity so that they can join Union.
Mm-hmm. It is quite literally a core part of the setting. You are not a rogue agent.
No, you are a part of a team. Lancers are basically knights, essentially.
Yes, you have bosses. You have responsibilities. You have obligations, and you are a member of society.
Exactly. Like, yeah, Lancers are typically bound by the three pillars, but that doesn't mean that the three pillars don't apply to them. They just don't. They chose a life outside of the comforts of the core, outside of the
Yes.
safety of Union. They chose a life of adventure and adversity in exchange of being given great responsibility.
Even in Black Crusade, you are rarely ever your own master. There are those much bigger fish than you, both in the warp and in the materium.
Exactly. It's
You saw that quite well with the fleet.
yep. Trying to keep that shit show in line.
And also, before you rose to power, you were just a member of a much greater organism.
Yep.
It did not need you.
I just try my best to help keep it running.
Mm
Shit.
hmm. Bing bong. Man, that does a lot of damage.
Ow, ow, ow. Whoa! Eh. I might want to bring you in.
I don't particularly blame you because this fight is not good.
Yeah, especially because he can get kind of trapped here.
You are quite literally trapped there.
Yeah, no, you can literally get trapped here because of the fact that, oh, what's this thing? Oh, I got captured by this. At least when it was in Bloodborne, you could literally fast travel out of Yarhargul.
And then, well, you first have to make it there, but then it's also like in Elden Ring, you don't have to face the boss if you get sent to Caelid. You just have to book it outside, which is its own challenge, but plausible.
Yeah, no, definitely. Getting stuck in that mine, I've had that happen on all my characters so far. I keep forgetting that chest. I keep
Go
for,
in there.
I keep forgetting
Yes.
about that chest, and it transports me every time. But still,
You can just book it for the exit.
with this, you have to beat the boss.
Or you don't technically have to beat the boss, but it's a very tricky way to remember that cliff you're stuck on after being teleported?
Yeah, I know you can technically be able to move to the other side.
Well, it's more accurate. You're able to shimmy down to the right of where you start, and then end up in the lava field, and then technically make it across the lava field.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Meet you at the boss door,
um,
or should I summon you right here?
whichever you prefer. Which
I'll.
boss fog is it again?
It's the what? It's about. Go over to Subterranean Inquisition Chamber, and it's the
There it is.
cave. Everything. I'll summon you right
Yeah.
here, actually. So, yeah, just put your sign down by the side of Grace.
I was trying to remember which one it was. Anyway, I'm going to be so comically underleveled, it's funny. I am going to have to be carried by the fact I have the best talismans, armor, and weapons in the game.
Yep.
What even is in your flask, by the way? Your flask of physic.
Oh god, what is it? I don't think I know I have. I just haven't used it. Restore half HP and temporary boost max stamina.
The boosting max stamina one isn't bad. The two I've been using are the Crimson Bubble Tier and the Crimson Spill.
Yeah, I don't have
The
many of those right now. I need to go around and kill all the Erd-tree avatars.
Yep. The Crimson Bubble Tier 1 is Tears of Denial, but better. It has helped me many times at the DLC.
Oh no, I imagine.
And here I go.
Here's the
Man, my HP
Titan.
bar shrinks. It's like sticking your wiener out in the middle of winter. It just shrink. Alrighty, well, let's see.
Down the hole.
And can you loot anything from in here? I forget.
I think there's some moss over here.
I remember farming the moss for a long time, so that's probably where you got most of your blooming moss from that I gave you.
Yeah, there's like a ton of blooming moss over here.
Yeah, this is where I remember farming all of it that I gave you, and I gave you a ton.
What is blooming moss? I think blooming moss is useful for a few different crafting recipes. I don't remember which ones.
Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Big Sippy! It is time for the Knim to go meow.
Meow.
There's some good damage. Get out of here. Well, let's see if I survive. I should, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, you do.
That did no damage.
Thank you.
Now it's time for you to go meme.
Meow.
Ah, yes, my rune arc. Delicious.
Yes, my tasty, nutritious rune arc.
Mmm, scrumptious.
Scrumptious. Ah.
That was most definitely overkill, I think, but that was fun.
Yes, no, that was definitely overkill, but worth it.
As I've said before, if you ever really have a problem, you can always summon in the much deadlier older brother. So Knim can just go meme. The evil 3 smile. It's great.
Uh, so I I think I've told you a bit of like the original Minx lore, right?
A bit, yes.
How she was originally from Ravnica, and it was an experiment in Ravnica that basically kind of went, basically exceeded a bit too much and led to her become, basically they're trying to create an infinite potion machine.
Yes, which is
And
funny.
and they basically kind of ended up creating a sentient creature by a complete accident.
As you are wont to do.
One of the junior workers at the laboratory saw this, saw that they were hurting an actually living creature, and went, "Well, shit, I didn't sign up for this."
Yes.
And so broke her out of her cell, and then proceeded to go on a massive goose chase across the entirety of Ravnica, where she was rescued by a plane walking wizard, and then was just dumped in a realm with some potion making equipment and told, "Hey, go live a good life."
I see.
And that is how Mink, the story of Mink, the Hug Slime, began.
Yes. And then, unfortunately for me, they had an evil doppelganger named Knim, who denied hugs and ate children.
She had an unknown doppelganger. That's even the weirder part. She has no idea this doppelganger exists. I doubt her doppelganger knows she exists.
At least until I have the good graces to stick the two of them together in a room with a child. Let's see, will they be hugged first or eaten first?
That's a good question, I suppose. That is a very good question, I suppose. Which will happen first, the huggies or the consumption?
It may even happen at the same time. Cue slime fight.
Exactly. Cute slime girls fighting, which honestly I don't know what that would look like.
It would probably just be a very angry smacking competition.
Probably. Because Mink doesn't really use a weapon, she more just makes a pseudopod to slap people with. Like, legitimately, her weapon is just a mace reflavored just to be a pseudopod. That's it. That is her melee weapon. She's not really one to use range. She does have access to Cleric's Spellbook, which is pretty powerful.
Unfortunately, not powerful enough.
And then you just have Knim, who, at level 20, can make a motherfucking nuke.
Nim, who is given a Glock 19.
Just, I swear, if you actually give Knim just a full-on fucking, like, 1911, I will be very happy.
Nim has unlocked the power of drive-by shooting. First, though, they have to survive, and I'm going to be blatantly honest. The main actual boon the other party is going to have is Flamey's character, actually.
Oh?
You see, his character is Tharbarus, the reincarnation of Tharfat, quite literally. More importantly, Tharbarus is a member of the Road Wardens, West Company.
Ah.
He knows the laws and regulations of Barovia, which honestly will take you further than anything else. But he is also very good friends with people in the army, basically, and what constitutes most of the what constitutes law enforcement outside of the settlements and inside the settlements in some cases.
Ah, yes.
So he is going to be required to smooth over diplomacy and to keep you four idiots from ruining the valley any further.
Knim being carried in a bucket or a barrel on one of their backs, plotting destruction with bombs.
Yes.
Just,
And
I
then
just
what else?
imagine you've seen, if I remember correctly, you've seen Atlantis: The Lost Empire, right?
Yes.
Remember the scene where the explosive expert is like, they're like, if one wrong move, this entire volcano could explode. And the
And then they
guy's
all look
working.
over.
They all look over, and the guy's working on a bomb. That's probably gonna be Knim, but she's gonna pop out of the barrel, just like holding like 15 sticks of dynamite.
I'll put it to you like this. She is not going to be allowed out of the barrel unless it is time to boogie. They will ruin literally everything otherwise, and the party has enough threats as is.
Exactly. She will stay in the barrel, and then she will pop out to throw bombs at people, or just throw empty pots.
So the
Depending on how she's
party
feeling that
has
day.
Barbarous. They have Knim.
Yep.
The three other characters, which are going to further complicate matters, are Gristle, who Barbarous, as a Bartakian, is going to dislike many other factions. You know, the Druids, the Berserkers, and the Blights, just to name a few.
Of
Hopefully,
course.
Gristle can step in to act as a bridge between those. The Paladin is from before the war ended, so he is instinctual. He's going to pretty much have a hate for the Revenants, which are normally a faction parties against Strahd align themselves with, because he waged a war of annihilation against their kind. And Tharbarus isn't much better, because he also hates everything dragon related. And then
Yes.
there is the Rogue, who is a massive. They're an asylum escapee. They're a schizophrenic. They will be required for dealing with the rare occult things in the valley, including a literal devil.
Ah, yes.
So, as you can see, this is going to be a very dysfunctional party,
Oh, yeah, no, it's probably going to take the entire party working together to keep Knim in line.
which is a problem because Gristle. Well, let me put it to you like this: Barbarous works for the army. Paladin worked for the ruling family. Rogue, similar. He's a wild card, but he might work with you. Gristle also might work with you, but his end goal is to be the ruler, which Knim will appreciate.
Yes. Because she is an anarchist, first and foremost.
Yes.
How she became an anarchist, even she doesn't really know. She knows she just doesn't like governments.
She doesn't like people and happiness and stability and life.
The only way
She's
that
going to
she can be
firebomb it.
happy is the only way she can be happy is destroying stuff with firebombs that she's cooked up out of her own body.
And other slimes.
Yes. She will enslave her own kind if necessary to achieve her goal of anarchy.
Fortunately, they do not have rights.
Just imagining we're going through customs at some town trying to get in. The guards are just like, okay, why the fuck are you carrying a 50-gallon barrel?
Well, it is simple. Wine. Ah, carry on.
Ah, yes, carry on. This unnoticed by everyone. Knim just poking her little head out with a crossbow, ready to shoot the man.
That campaign is going to be so much more difficult and likely deadly than this current one. It's not even funny.
Oh, for sure, and it's just gonna be pure chaos. But that is what I signed up for. I signed up to create chaos.
I'll put it to you guys like this: that is going to be a nonstop war of attrition. Because most every faction is going to dislike at least some of the party.
Yeah.
It's just not great. It's just not great.
Kinem doesn't really care. All she cares about is just blowing stuff up.
Yes, we will see how long she lives though.
Yeah.
Because if she aggroes certain things, it is going to be the things the current party is doing is going to be quite rough for the second party.
Oh yeah, no,
Remember
I imagine.
Jubal? Remember Jubal?
Yeah.
He's also CR8. Unlike his counterpart, however, he only has a handful of cantrips and no real special ability. What he has is 4 attacks a turn with a pike and crits on 18 to 20.
Ah.
And if you want to go to war with the Blights, you're going to have to deal with the Gulthias trees, and you're going to have to deal with those two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can see the problem.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It's just not great.
Honestly, I either party trying to deal with the Gothias trees, even with Knim doing her fucking bullshit of making bombs.
Well, that's the funny part because bombs and poison don't deal with Gulthias trees. The only way to deal with one is to fully unroot it.
Yeah, Knim's gonna
Otherwise,
be
it will.
useless in that case because she deals with explosives and fire and poison.
Well, useful, but it isn't going to be with dealing with the tree itself. And each tree is growing a denser arrangement of blights around it. And if they know you're coming, it isn't going to be me rolling. It's going to be an encounter every mile. Unless you guys are stealthing your way through, which is going to take forever.
Chances of stealthing is kind of unlikely.
The problem with stealthing is that blights have blind sight.
And that means...
They, as long as you are within their radius, they can sense you. They don't need to see or hear you. Galay and Jubal have blind sight out to 300 feet.
Ooh.
They do not see by traditional means, they see by the plants around them, sensing you going by.
Okay.
Yeah, going to war with the Blights is a terrible idea. Going to war with any of the factions is a terrible idea because, well, you guys could go and try to clear out the hunting camp, but that's going to be around 50 CR3s to 4s. And if you do, well, you cleared out a hunting camp. Their actual bases of operation and main settlements are all up in the mountains. Where they have... Are you familiar with the Roman Scorpion?
No?
It's effectively a crossbow on meth. Kinda like a ballista. They have those and war animals. They don't need gunpowder. They have their own siege equipment.
Yes.
That ballista will go through full plate armor. And it will go through a horse. It will go through a wall. It will go through 3 men in a line. That thing does not mess around, and it is accurate up to like 2.
Is accurate up to 2?
To 200 meters. The distance of basically 2 football fields.
Yes.
And then there's the various war beasts, which, well, to describe the difference between a normal horse and their horse as examples, their horses are covered in a thick layer of hair with various horns growing out of their bodies at set points, and a mouth of sharp teeth that is capable of rending flesh from bone because they are omnivores.
Yes.
That is their horse.
Yes, I see we're going for the Acadian style horses.
It is... And then there's the other animals of the mountain that they call home. The barbarians are a very tough people for a reason.
Yeah, I've never doubted that, honestly.
So trying to go to war with them will not end well. And then there's the druids, which I've substantially buffed their stats and their magical capability. They get blight reinforcements that they actually have pretty much corralled already set up. And they have latent fey powers to further augment their magical ability from when they were interbreeding with the Fey from the Feywild.
Oh no.
And then there's the Bartakians, which if you anger one settlement, you angered all of them if there were any survivors. And, well, I've shown you that there are 4 settlements in the basin. There are a lot of hamlets. and they can all supply manpower to take you down. And if needed, they can even get the very old relics out of the armories, which include a small supply of gunpowder.
Ah, yes.
You genuinely just do not win with going to total war with any of my factions. Even the werewolves, you are going to have a very bad time with dealing with, unless you are bringing a lot of silvered weaponry.
In that case, whew, good luck trying to maintain all that.
In which case, good luck even getting your hands on enough.
Oh yeah,
it,
definitely.
it is a bad time for everyone involved.
Also,
By the way, did you go and get your third talisman pouch?
uh
Or did you not beat the lady?
I did not beat the lady. I think I came out here trying to get more pots.
Yes. Don't forget to also go and, well, you have the Mount Gelmir open now, so you can go in there later.
Yeah, I need to go in there to go find that one merchant that sells the crafting recipes for the volcanic pots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also just grabbing more flasks and runes and shit.
Very important.
But oh yeah, that just also just leads me into another thing. What did you think? What do you think about the stuff I've been able to explain so far regarding Valin's homeland?
It's definitely serviceable. It definitely works and is what I was figuring.
E. I hope you like the detail of the Silverlight providing silver be turned into dark silver.
Yes.
That is
I do wish
what
that there was a few more details regarding their home world or their homelands, but that's honestly,
those
it
are
doesn't
just general
particularly matter.
details. The more precise stuff can be filled out later.
Yeah,
I'm just wanting to
there's a
provide
general
more
details which are good
general
enough.
overview that will serve as a decent groundwork.
Indeed.
Could I possibly go into more detail? Oh, fuck yeah. I can go into full
Right.
detail regarding transdom.
Because something I've been curious about is the religious setup of her homeland. Because as far as I'm pretty sure she's been able to tell thus far that Barovia is quite unique in a religious aspect.
Oh, yeah, no.
What with only four main deities.
Valin's homeland religion was always a it was always a bit of a weird issue because a lot of the vampires didn't really have a god they believed in. Most of the time was
Yeah.
most of the time it was a whole case of we'll just believe in what god we did when we were mortal. For a lot of them, others just didn't
Yes.
really believe in a deity. There was a primary deity over the land, but he was quite weakened thanks to the vampire's efforts.
Makes sense.
The deity is simply known as the Light.
Mm.
They are
Well, he
a
must have gotten his teeth kicked in.
yeah, no. The vampires of Homeland went through a very large effort to ensure that no matter what. Oh, hello there.
Yes, it is I, the random knight in the shed.
No, Lucinax.
Yes, it is I, the dragon on the random hill, going to eat you. Or
Uh,
Lanciax, which is the knight that canonically became a human female and boned.
I still
You
always,
know,
yeah, no, I
as they are
remember
wont
that
to do.
detail. I remember
As they
that
are wont to
detail.
do.
Yeah. Uh, so one of oh god, what was the? Yeah, so basically they went through a lot of effort to ensure that no matter what, the religion regarding the light would remain basically as suppressed as possible.
That isn't really needed here because, as far as you can tell, the Morning Lord, well, it was straight up told to you he hasn't been answering prayers for who knows how long. Chances are likely he either went to go get the milk or straight up died.
Yeah.
Granted, apparently that isn't the case for his children or his wife, but as I've described prior, you're best off not invoking her.
Yeah.
Barovia really is a particular thing. Poor Knim is fighting the thing that they have in their pocket.
Yes.
Will they win?
I keep forgetting how fucking fast they can move.
Oh yes, they are incredibly zoomy.
Basically the light. Basically, they are a deity of the sun. They are basically a sun
As
deity.
one of the deities of the sun, I figured.
Yeah. Their exact form is not exactly known by many. And only in recent years, as far as Valen was really known, did the light actually have an avatar. They don't really have a physical form, or well, a physical description, like a lot of gods.
I see.
Whereas a lot of gods often have a physical description, the light never really did.
It was just the light trademark.
Yeah. Only in recent years, primarily when the humans led their massive revolt against the vampires, was there a champion of the light.
Makes sense, and I presume they got their teeth kicked in like Sicaria.
Well, the vampires or the night.
The night.
Hold on. Need to check something.
Or is this the part where Valen's family died?
Okay. Sorry, I needed to check to see if someone actually left the door open.
Yes, it was me, Barry. I opened your door and ran back at supersonic speeds.
Anyways, as you were saying.
Was this revolt the one that resulted in Valen's father taking like 57 wooden stakes to the chest?
Yeah.
Rip Bozo, I'm afraid.
This was what led to Valen needing to leave home, getting trapped in her sword, and eventually escaping and all that.
Which has also led to, well, her making the decision to go to Barovia.
Yep. Was it the smartest decision?
Of,
Probably not. Was really the only one
curious,
she had.
I'm curious if you're wondering who exactly knocked out Valen.
I am.
Don't worry, it'll be relevant eventually. I could just tell you who it is if you really want to know, because it's going to be quite obvious when you hear them speak, but I digress.
Oh no, I imagine.
And they are, well, Valen had to be knocked out, unlike the other party members who all fell into a deep sleep and a dream, because the fog surrounding Barovia gives you levels of exhaustion, which she as an undead is immune to.
Yeah.
So someone immune to the fog, so either Vistani or another undead, had to quite literally go and knock them out.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
Man, this campaign has been going on for a while.
Yeah, indeed.
In my defense, I also had it set up so you guys could just immediately leave the base and chose.
Yeah, but honestly, my own thing, I again because of the fact of Slayer's game, I haven't had chance to. We haven't had any chances to do like side quests and shit. Like,
And I do hope you guys are enjoying just the minor side quests of Barovia.
no,
You
I
meet
am.
interesting NPCs!
Yeah. But basically, for the night, basically he was eventually named the champion around the time that the rebellion fully got into swing.
Mm.
So the fact that there was a champion of the light made a lot of the vampires go, "Oh fuck, that's a thing again."
I'd imagine it made most of them actually afraid for once.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. There was of course, there was a massive whole thing of getting the army together and facing the rebellion. Unfortunately, it turned out that this champion could bless his fellows.
A problem, yes.
And this led to basically a bunch of holy warriors fighting an army of vampires.
I imagine as well they were also wielding weapons of sunlight or some description.
Yeah, they could imbue their weapons with sunlight, and the champion, the more the people believed in him, the more powerful he became. As more people believed him as the avatar of the light.
I can definitely understand that, but I cannot help but mentally compare the homeland to the titular, as I have called him because that's his in-game lore title, greatest of all vampires, Strahd von Zarovich. I've mentioned before that there is a sun sword in Barovia, correct?
No, you actually haven't.
So that's one of the main important items, and it is relevant because the sun sword was the former sword of his brother who he killed, Sergei von Zarovich.
Huh.
This weapon is sentient and it is a full sword, enchantments included. But if you bring it to Strahd with intent to kill him, he won't actually be afraid. He's gonna be more annoyed than anything else.
Oh god, he's not afraid of the sun.
Keep in mind, Strahd von Zarovich does not have to fear any of the traditional vampire weaknesses while in Barovia, including running water from any of the rivers. He flat out does not take anything from it because he is the ancient, he is the land.
Yeah.
He would not fear it. Open and blatantly, there would be some degree of disgust at it. He might sneer at it, but underneath, there would be a small sliver of sadness looking at it. And this is about the only thing he would say. I can assure you this sword failed to fell me even when it retained its original crystalline blade, wielded by its original wielder. Even the way you are holding it is just sloppy by comparison. Let me show you how this went the last time it was drawn upon me.
Damn.
As, you know, he quite literally beat his brother to death at the brother's own wedding. Strahd had one singular autism moment in his entire life, and his entire life's allowance. Which is impressive when you remember he's German. You are literally bringing that old thing as he beholds what would be the kryptonite of any other vampire. It still will really hurt him, but he does not fear it.
Oh no, I imagine. Valen would fucking fear that thing because, well, the fucking sword is sunlight.
And a live one at that is sentient.
Yeah, that's what's even more worrying, is just, it's a fucking sentient sword. Those things are fucking scary.
Worse yet is the fact that I figured out where to put all 3 of the major items. It is currently being wielded by a particular NPC against Strahd. So if you need to, if you want to go reclaim it, and part of Strahd's quest, you guys, is to go and reclaim those 3 items and bring them to him, you're gonna have to go deal with it. I'll also say that if you want to, because I want to, but if you go and befriend Irina, she will accompany you to the 2 of the legacy dungeons in Curse of Strahd.
Okay.
Ones that I never got to actually play as a player, and I am still bitter about.
Nice.
I think you upgrading your blade may be in order, by the way.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm a bit low on upgrade materials, so that might actually.
You might
be
just have to
necessary.
go after the stupid ball bearings if you want to try out other weapons.
Makes sense. Ah, shit. Yeah, I that was actually a pretty fair attempt, but yeah, I should probably go upgrade my weapon a bit.
Yeah, there's only a +2, and you are currently on the Altus Plateau.
Funny meme build.
This is certainly tragic. I had a +7 by the time I even went anywhere near Altus
Yeah, no,
with my
same.
candy build, with their funny blood knight blade, a bloodhound knight sword.
But so essentially, he is imbued with the power of the light, the head paladin. He's basically a head paladin.
Yes.
He is deemed as the chosen one / avatar of the light, and that's granted him a lot of power.
My brain just imagined which Dark Souls theme would play if Lyn looks over at the fog gate entering Barovia, and then there he is.
Oh,
He's come to finish the job.
oh, God.
Fortunately, he's not going to leave this place alive. Unfortunately, he might kill you before he himself is eaten by Strahd.
Yeah, that's what I figured. One of the I guess one of the major things especially regarding the head paladin, is his basically one of the main issues that was ran into was because of the fact that he could basically bless people to become paladins essentially, and also they could imbue their weapons with the light of the sun. You can imagine that was not a very good point in the war for them.
It was all ogre.
Yes, as one would say.
It has never been more ogre.
And
By the
so,
way,
yeah, go ahead.
feel free to sell any of the other things I gave you that you will literally use.
Yeah, no, I'll probably figure out what I should sell later.
Most of the things I gave you were funny.
Yeah. One of the other things regarding specifically his abilities, was actually a very interesting one. Was being able to summon an angel of light to help. This
Well, that
was
is most definitely a problem.
yeah, no. Whenever he strode onto the battlefield, basically it was basically the humans would push harder because holy shit, the commander is here.
Mm-hmm.
And also he would often summon in this angel to help because, well,
A diva, I suppose.
yeah, it's literally I am the head guy. I am showing off why I am in charge right now.
Believe it or not, but there actually is a diva in Curse of Strahd, and you are going to fear them for a very different reason.
I think I've heard about them. Aren't they in Service of Strahd?
They aren't in direct service of Strahd, but they are so corrupt spiritually that they scare even the devil I have in Barovia as well. He is terrified of the abbot.
Yeah.
Anyone with a functional brain avoids the abbot if they can help it, but that's a problem because the abbot is the single most qualified medical person in the entire valley, and he is effectively your only hope if you need a very severe surgery. He's your best hope.
Yeah.
You just never want to meet him.
Uh,
Because, a diva in Barovia. This cannot end well.
yeah. Another, uh, basically the war was fought over the course of about 50 years or so.
Mm.
Long form.
Yeah. Because remember, the vampires were in deep control at this point, and basically they were taking the land back from the vampires, basically,
Piecemeal.
yeah, piecemeal, just taking it back bit by bit, knowing that the vampires can't replace their numbers easily, and also that we have
Well,
basically their greatest weakness to use against them.
you say that, but I would have been engaging in some downright Helsing-esque shenanigans.
Oh no, there definitely was. Don't worry. There was fucking vampire hunters all over the place in the front lines.
No, that's not quite what I'm getting at. I'm talking about on the vampire side.
Oh.
So you tell me that you want mass-produced vampiric soldiers with enhanced ability to resist the sun. All right, let me see what I can do. Come
That
back in a few months.
that was actually a bit of a thing regarding transdom. So transdom was one of the more, as I stated, more technologically advanced parts of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, that was actually due to the main person in charge of it, Dr. Henry Blackbrew.
Ah, a man after my own heart.
He, of course, is a mad scientist.
Remember, children, you leave the mad scientist human alive because he gets you results, and if he wants to become a vampire to keep doing mad science after his life is reaching its end, then you turn him. He is allowed to walk as a free man.
So one of the main things with regarding him is that he played both sides during the war.
Yes, that's why you have to pay a better salary.
He basically worked for both sides during the course of the war because, well, if if this war is going to be dragging on for a while, I might as well be able to do some illegal ass shit.
Well, like I said, that's why you have to pay him a better salary, give him a better facility, and give him more freedoms and more rights. That's how you win these things on the tech front.
so
As someone who has waged wars in Black Crusade.
so as a result, of course, both sides had access to some fairly advanced weaponry, things like things such as flintlocks, muskets, and even some experimental energy-based weapons.
Mm.
Think more steampunky electric guns.
I am, but I'm also weeping because you can. Oh, the things I would have done would have made me king. Ah, yes, my functional knowledge of microbiology makes me the most dangerous man on the continent.
He also had a penchant for experimenting on everyone.
Based, like I said, a man after my own heart. The vampires are not exempt from experimentation. I will get you results, though, for better vampires.
In that he did, it resulted in the discovery of what he called blood type E.
Hmm. Funny.
He never really released the full research regarding blood type E, but basically it resulted in some very powerful vampires and a way for him to stay young.
Based. Based and red pilled.
No, I should completely make the distinction. He is not a vampire. He is still human, quote
Yes,
unquote.
yes, he is still human because why would he not be human unless his life is literally about to end from old age? You are staying human for as long as you can because being human has a lot of benefits, actually.
Yes. Ow.
But yes, I would have done unspeakable things to your land's both sides of the population.
But again, of course, eventually the war ended up going in the humans' favor after basically the chosen one was able to convince Dr. Henry Blackbrew to support humanity fully. It may have been at
Yes,
sword point.
which is why he honestly should have never let himself get in that situation in the first place, or should have had a contingency. Ah, yes, I
He
may
did have a
die, but my
contingency.
clone carries on.
He did have a contingency. His greatest creation, Adam, the firstborn.
Funny.
Adam was his greatest creation and is essentially Frankenstein's monster.
But with vampire, I presume.
Mixture of vampire stuff and also the fact that it is Adam is essentially so one of the things with Transdom, the area Transdom uh, specifically the north part of it, because it's broken up into north and south.
Mm-hmm.
The main nickname for the area was Gloomrot, mostly just because of how gloomy the area was.
Makes sense.
The area is quite gloomy, depressing, so mainly due to pollution and shit from the factories.
Base.
And so, North Gloomrot was actually a lot better because most of South Gloomrot was the part that was being used as an industrial waste dump.
Yes, the north does look better by comparison.
But the North had lots of thunderstorms going on. That's where a lot of the energy came from. Was the harnessing
Lightning
of the
strikes, I see.
thunderstorms.
Interesting.
And
Atypical energy source.
and Dr. Henry Blackbrew was able to, through the harvesting of a lot of things, vampires, humans, and he doesn't even know what half the time. He kind of just told his assistants to bring him parts, and
Yes.
they eventually came back with parts of something humanoid, but definitely not human.
Based.
Eventually, he put together Adam. Adam. Adam was, of course, in the style of Dr. Frankenstein's monster, brought to life via the lightning of Northern Gloomrot.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, there was a thing about what exactly he used to fully make Adam alive. As part of the mechanism that was basically the mixture of a mechanical and biological heart, had this particular stone in it. This was a Thunder God gem.
Funny. Small amount of tomfoolery.
Yes, unknown to Dr. Henry Blackbrew, there was once a Thunder God that had been shattered long ago by the God of Light. Mainly due to a quarrel.
I imagine it was a legal dispute about the homeowners association.
Essentially, yeah.
The Thunder God wanted to build his pagoda a few feet higher than what was regulated. A shame, as he was then shattered into 5,000 pieces.
Yes, so Adam the Firstborn is essentially imbued with the power of the God of Thunder.
Who does not like light very much, I presume.
No, he doesn't. Basically imagine you're a being who's been awoken for the first time. You see that your creator is a damn old man, and is a very old man, and he is claiming that you are his greatest creation. And you also realize, I feel very powerful.
Yes, because he was given a diet of anabolic steroids and meth.
And basically, Adam kind of realized because again, Dr. Henry Blackbrew was one who was a mad scientist and Adam was his attempt to further evolve humanity. In his own
Uh-huh.
words.
As he
Basic,
should.
Basically, a proof of concept that the human form can be pushed even further.
Mm-hmm. As he is wont to do.
And Adam, well, to say that he was not exactly controllable
For
is
that
an
idea.
understatement.
Yes, he was not exactly for that idea.
And so, so a lot of resources in Transom ended up having to be used to contain the being known as Atom.
As it is wont to do. Frankly, I would have just used it as a, what is it? As one of the Chaos Terminator dreadnoughts. You know, the ones that are so far gone, you just release them onto a battlefield and then recapture them later.
Honestly, that was one of his plans. It just never really worked out that way.
I pronounced skill issue. But then again, I would have a degree in mad science by now if it were not for the university being a cock.
One of the main issues, especially regarding Adam, is the resources that were required to contain him were immense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Frankly, at that point, I would have just cut my losses.
basically, they contained him, found a way basically to induce a form of stasis for him, and just left him in the lab with a
I presume with some form of temporal magic.
most
Or
likely.
spatial magic.
Basically, it was some sort of magic powered by the constant thunderstorms.
Well, this can only end well.
Well, the thing is that Dr. Henry Blackbrew always has Adam on the. Always has a basically activation switch to turn off the containment measures if he so deems necessary.
Yes, that is a quite appropriate contingency plan. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work. The one scientist I had planned for, what you fuck it, the space station, where if you were going to kill him, he was going to kill both of you. His lab was going to seal, and it was going to release warp contaminated mustard gas into the chamber. He was going to take both of you out.
Honestly, understandable.
Yes. This is why I am the better mad scientist. I am a firm believer of mutually assured destruction. I'm also going to say that is one of the ugliest headpieces in the entire game.
What the?
No, the one that he is selling, but by itself.
What the fuck is he selling? The guilty hood.
Yes, we all love branches.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you on that one. Hold on. I'll actually grab you an image of Adam.
By the way, are you going to be killing the more out-of-the-way merchants for the sin of being out of the way?
Later.
I see.
I plan on doing that later when I'm more powerful.
Makes
But
sense, makes sense.
behold, Adam the Firstborn.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
Uh,
That is about what I expected.
what he is from specifically, he's actually from a game I really love, V Rising. His second phase, he literally rips off that mechanical arm and it makes an arm made of lightning.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. As a whole, however, I might have just returned to the drawing board personally.
Yeah, no, Dr. Henry Blackroot did want to do that, but unfortunately, due to being forced to side with the humans during the war, he wasn't allowed to continue the research. Though he did in secret try, but it mostly led to some more mechanical augmentations.
Which at that point, I would have frankly just killed both of us to prove a point. I'm taking you out with me for the sin of speeding in my good time. I was having fun, damn you.
I was having fun creating its horrific abominations.
Horrific abominations, plural.
Uh,
But then again, that is how I judge mad scientists by comparison to myself.
One of the so after of course all of that, there is the fact of well, after with the war slowly getting worse and worse and well, worse. They all kind of realized shit. We're losing on all fronts. Valin wanted to join her during the one of the last battles. Valin wanted to join her mother and father on the front of the castle, but was told to stay behind and help protect one of the other areas. And she ended up being one of the last vampires to, well, not be slain, but definitely one of the last vampires standing.
Yes. Granted, in regards to that, I'm surprised that the humans were able to replenish their losses as easily as they were, if only because humans do take a good number of years before they actually get prepared enough for combat.
Ow.
But I presume that there were other areas that they were able to replenish their losses from.
Yes. Basically, the more territory they got control of, the more that they were able to recruit, and also those from the outside lands.
The outside lands, I especially presume, were going to play a big role going forward. Granted, why the vampires did not engage in biological warfare, I simply do not know. Or chemical. The vampires don't need to breathe, but the humans sure do.
Yeah,
Again,
I
I'm
don't.
going to win the war. I'm not getting tried for war crimes because I'm winning.
Again, I don't fully know.
It may have been some lost vestige of honor. It may have been some desire to not completely ruin everything. All I would have known is I don't think things would have turned out quite the way they were if I had any significant say. But then again, I have a 21st century understanding of organic chemistry, and that is worth gold.
Yeah. But I think this is actually going to be a good place to stop for today. I'm actually getting pretty tired.
Have a good rest. I hope you enjoyed all the stuff.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hope everyone's been enjoying the stream. I'm going to go probably pass out in a bit or just kind of just go lay down. But I'll see
Have
everyone
a good
later.
lay down.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.